I really would like for somebody to tell me where time goes. When I tell you January literally packed his bags and was like, it's been fun, but I got a blast, fam. And I swear it did just that. It feels like New Year's was only 2 days ago. So crazy, but here we are. It's the beginning of a new month. It's February, which means it's time for another Plan With Me video. And I have been loving making these videos. A lot of you guys have been telling me how much you've been loving them, and it's honestly been a way to keep me accountable and make sure that I'm actually being consistent with my planner. If you don't know, or if you're new around here, I'm literally just getting into planning, and it's been transformative for me because I've been consistent in my planner, actually writing out to-do lists, sticking to things that I said I've wanted to accomplish. I have been able to not only just show up in my personal life, but show up in my business. I took a little hiatus from my business over the past couple of years just because of overwhelm and just life and COVID, just was a lot going on. So I told myself the only way that I'm going to overcome a lot of the overwhelm that I'm having is actually writing out things that I need to get done and being able to see everything on paper in black and white, take actionable steps towards actually accomplishing everything that I've written out. And when I tell you my business is flourishing, after taking a break for almost 2 years, I feel like my business is literally thriving right now, and I have my planner to thank for that. Just a little backstory. If you're new around here, my name is Bryant. I am a photographer living in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm just here documenting my journey of creating a life worth living. And a large portion of that is actually using my planner, getting my life together, writing out my goals, and actually making actionable steps to move forward and accomplish that. And so if you like the sound of that, then you know what to do. Just a side note, if you notice the camera shaking a little bit, please disregard it. It's been a very long Sunday. I've been busy all day, and so I'm actually in the bed filming this. I'm usually at my desk to film these, but I just was like, I want to relax. I got my glass of wine. I'm sipping some Moscato. I'm just chilling in my bed on this Sunday evening, talking to you and planning out my February. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into everything just because I already feel like this video is going to be long enough, which a lot of you guys said you like longer content, but still, it's going to be lengthy because I have a lot going on in February, which I'm so excited about, but it's still a lot. But before we even get into February, I do want to do some reflecting over January, starting with some of the goals I set for myself. Now, I do feel like a lot of the goals I set weren't SMART goals, meaning specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, time specific. Just because I'm pretty new to goal setting. Like I said, I'm new to using a planner anyway. And so I didn't really know what I was doing. But so for my personal goal, I wanted to do at least 5 minutes of journaling every day. I feel like I did really well with that. And then I also wanted to be more intentional about fighting all of the limiting thoughts that I might have throughout the month. I feel like I did really good with this, specifically because every day I set a daily intention. And so having that little affirmation or word of encouragement every single day, I started to have a mindset shift, and I literally felt it throughout the month. And so I feel like I did really good on my personal goal this month. For my business goal for the month, it was very simple. I just wanted to be able to let the people know that I'm still here because I've been very intentional about showing up online and showing up in my business. I've been able to book out my calendar for the past 2 months and actually meet my income goals for my business. So I'm really proud of that. Now, when it comes to my fitness goal, I wanted to drop 5 pounds. I did not drop 5 pounds, and that's okay. This past month, I was not consistent in the gym like I said I would be. I actually did not go at all. Now, for my financial goal, I'm really proud of myself in regard to this. I told you guys a couple of videos back how I set a goal to save $250 this month. I actually got that accomplished pretty early in the month, and I've been able to exceed that. And then I also wanted to do at least 15 days of no spending, and that part of my financial goal didn't go well. As soon as I step foot out the door, it just seems like money just disappears out of my wallet. So streets is not friendly to my wallets. But for my spiritual goal, I kind of half met this. I did not create a worship playlist. I also said that I wanted to spend more time with God, and I have been doing that. I've been praying more this month. I've been having more conversations with God, and that's been feeling really good. So even though I didn't create my playlist, I still feel like I accomplished my spiritual goal. And so I feel like I did that. Comparing my monthly layout to where we left off in my January plan with me, it's completely different. I ended up filling out a lot of these dates and looking over my monthly spread and seeing everything that I've done, everything that I've accomplished just feels so good. I literally love this layout and referring to it because it's helped to reduce the amount of times that I overbook or double book myself. So game changer for me. But for future planning, I just decided to use this little column over here. I don't like to write dates in if we're not in that current month, just because I like to plan all at once. And so for future planning, I just decided to list pre-planned dates there. And then for the empty dates at the bottom for February, I just decided to go ahead and fill those out. That way it'll make it a lot easier to navigate or to migrate those into the corresponding month when it's time to actually plan. Now, when it comes to my habit tracker, it's pretty empty, scarce. Not to say that I didn't do a lot of these habits daily. Well, aside from no spending and movement, I wasn't in the gym at all, really. But, yeah, I didn't really stay consistent with actually filling out my habit tracker. I'm going to do a better job in February, but January, I just, yeah. I don't know why it was so difficult to fill that out, but here we are. So one thing that's changed since I filmed my January plan with me and my planner setup, I decided to add this little goals and habits section. Like I mentioned before, I'm doing the 12-week year goal setting strategy. And so I just kind of wanted everything in one place. And so what I did was I kind of marked a section with my daily habits dashboard. And then I have my habit tracker there. And then I have my cloth and paper goal mapping inserts. I kind of adapted them to fit my needs. And I was talking a lot about this in my last video. And if you haven't watched it, I'll leave a link in the description in the card above. So check that out. But I just wanted everything in one spot. And so every month throughout that quarter, I'm just going to add my habit tracker. On the very last page of this section, I just wrote out my vision statement for this 12-week year. Just a letter to myself referring to my goals as if I actually accomplished them. And that just kind of helps to keep me inspired and accountable. And so just kind of wanted that there as well. But just to give you an overview of what my weekly layouts look like throughout January, and I'm not changing them up for February, but I'm using the horizontal weekly cloth and paper inserts. And so there's two sections. There's a blank side where I list out any timed events. And then on the grid side, I'll write out my top 3 for the day. And then on that blank side as well, I'll write out any affirmations for the day. That's just been really helpful to kind of keep me motivated and inspired throughout the week. And then I've also been incorporating some journal style elements to my planner as well to incorporate some of my thoughts and just some of my experiences. Like on this spread, for instance, I used my Instax printer to print out a Polaroid from my trip. On that page, I actually wrote out, I wish I remembered to bring or pack my Instax camera. Me and my friends took a selfie and I wanted a Polaroid there. D Lifestyle Loves left a comment and she was asking whether I preferred the Instax camera or the Instax printer. So D Lifestyle Loves actually dropped a comment asking if I preferred the Instax camera or the Instax Polaroid printer. At that point, I didn't have the Instax printer, but I was wanting one specifically because I wanted a little bit more control over the photos that were printed. That way I'm not wasting any film, because who I am, it takes me like 50 photos to find the perfect one. And so having that printer has been literally clutch. And in moments where I don't necessarily want to carry around my Instax camera, I can literally take a selfie on my phone or take a picture on my phone, use the Instax Mini Link 2 to print those Polaroids out and just incorporate those in my planner. So getting into my content calendar, to be completely honest with you, I was not able to stick with my upload schedule for YouTube. I had planned on uploading a talking head video every Wednesday and weekly vlog on Sunday. February, I'm going to switch things up a little bit just because I think it was a little ambitious to shoot for 2 videos a week, especially after taking such a long break from YouTube, hopping into Vlogmas and creating content literally almost every day in December, and then trying to maintain 2 uploads. For February, I plan on just really focusing on my weekly vlogs, and I may switch the upload date for those to like Monday or Tuesday. As far as my analytics for the month of January, I believe I grew on all of my main social platforms, being Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I think I started the month of January with 9,351 followers on Instagram, and I'm ending the month with 9,397 followers. So I grew there. As far as YouTube, I was able to meet my subscriber goal for the quarter this month because you guys have been amazing and blowing up my channel. But I started the month with 6,971 subscribers, and I'm ending with 7,152. So I just want to thank y'all. Y'all literally are showing out. And on TikTok, I experienced a lot of growth too. I started out with 57 followers, and I'm ending the month with 128. So that's dope. Okay, that's enough reflecting. Let's go ahead and get into actually planning out the month of February. Thank y'all for sticking through that with me. But let me grab everything I need. Of course, I'm going to use these square flags to mark important dates. I love using the ones in Cortado to mark my shoot days, and then I like using the olive ones to mark my paydays. I'm also going to use these spotlight page flags just to mark any important dates and appointments. I love using the arrow page flags to highlight any trips that I have, and I have 2 coming up for the month of February. And I also want to grab the selfie I took for the month of February. And I like using these to mark my weekly layout, so I use them as a tab. I feel like that's everything I need, and so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Very first thing we're gonna do is highlight my paydays. It's my favorite day every month, and so because I get paid on the 15th and the 30th, I'm gonna mark those already. February only has 29 days this year, and I usually get paid on the last day of the month in February, so I'm just gonna highlight the 15th and the 29th using my olive square flags from cloth and paper. And I'm gonna also use my uni pen to write on those. So I have a couple of birthdays coming up this month. My sister's birthday is actually on the 1st of February. I'm so excited about that. And we have some plans for her birthday. And then one of my best friends, her birthday is on the 19th, and we're actually going out of town for her birthday. So I just want to go ahead and make sure those are on the calendar next. Then I want to add in my appointments. I only have one appointment scheduled for this month so far, which is my orthodontist appointment. I have Invisalign, and so I have an appointment for an updated scan as well as some photos. That way they can see my progress and let me know how much longer I have in my Invisalign journey, which I hope is not long because I'm a little sick of it at this point. I'm so ready for this process to be over. I've been in these aligners for 1.5 years now, so hopefully it's only another couple months before I can get them off. And now I'm just highlighting the dates for the trips I have coming up this month. I have trips planned back-to-back weekends in February. The weekend of the 16th, I will be going up to the mountains in North Carolina. One of my friends just bought a house out there, and so he's having a housewarming and all that. And then the weekend of the 23rd, we're going out to Charlotte to celebrate my friend Tam's birthday. Next, I want to get all of my shoot days on the calendar. I have photo shoots planned for the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, so that's going to be a really busy weekend. Shoot that I had scheduled for January 21st, that's actually rescheduled for February 11th now. That's another reason why I'm glad I use these page flags to mark dates in my calendar that could potentially be rescheduled, because again, if anything happens or I have to reschedule, then I can literally just move them to the appropriate date. That way I don't mess up my pages, and again, if anything needs to be rescheduled, I could just easily shift things around. I'm going to fill out my other shoot days, and then I also have a shoot on February 16th. I'm also supposed to be leaving for my mountain trip on the 16th as well. So I didn't double book myself. Thankfully, that photo shoot is at 10 a.m. And then right after the photo shoot, I'm going to hit the road to travel down to the mountains. And then I also have a content day scheduled for the 3rd of February with my niece. So that's specifically for me. So again, I just want to map all of that out here. And then on the 3rd, my sister wants to go out to eat for her birthday. We're going to Longhorn, which I haven't been in a while. I've been so into trying new restaurants that I have completely neglected my old favorites. So I'm really excited about the steak I'm going to get, but I'm also excited about being in the atmosphere and actually celebrating my sister's birthday. So that's really all I have planned for February right now. I know as the month goes on, there's going to be dates I'm going to have to add to the calendar, but again, I want to make sure that nothing conflicts with what I have going on here. And then again, in this little column right here, I'm just going to jot down all the dates that I have pre-planned for March. And I only have 2 things going on right now. One being another orthodontist appointment. So it's 6 weeks out. And then I'm going on a cruise at the end of March. So from March 28th until April 1st, I'll be out on a boat celebrating one of my best friend's birthday. So I'm really excited and looking forward to that. So let's get into some goal mapping. Since I'm doing 12-week year and I already have those goals mapped out, I'm going to base my goals this month on my 12-week year. So for my personal goal, I'm wanting to shed some pounds. And then for my business goal, I'm wanting to make $3,000 monthly in my photography business. And so I like to map out 5 different monthly goals for myself, one being personal, business, fitness, financial, and spiritual. So for my fitness goal, that's easy. I just want to lose 5 pounds. And this month I'm going to focus on working out 3 times per week, or having some type of movement 3 times per week. And so I'm using the word movement because I don't want to put gym, because I feel like gym is kind of limiting. And so I want to do 30 minutes of some type of movement 3 times a week. So that's what I want for my fitness goal. And then for my spiritual goal, since I didn't create a playlist last month, I do want to create a worship playlist. And I also want to find a guided Bible plan. I've never read the Bible. Like, I may read a verse here and there, but I want to completely read the Bible. I've heard of apps like He Reach Truth and apps like that, but I haven't invested in those or checked them out. So maybe I can find a guided reading plan, or maybe I can find some type of book from Barnes & Noble or somewhere that'll just kind of help me along that journey. But maybe they have like some workbooks on Amazon or something. I don't know. I'll check that out, but hopefully I can find that this month. So for my financial goal, I want to save another $250 this month. And then I also, instead of doing 15 days of no spending, I want to try to focus my efforts on going 2 days a week where I don't do any spending at all. 15 days, I feel like last month was a little ambitious. So I'm going to challenge myself to 2 days of no spending at all this month. So hopefully I can do that. For my business goal, in order to get to my goal of making $3,000 a month, I need to start shooting just for fun again. And so I'm really wanting to focus every month on planning a style shoot. That way I can actually shoot some stuff that I eventually want to get paid to shoot exclusively. And so I want to plan a style shoot this month. Since Valentine's Day is coming up, I have the idea of doing like a date night or a date themed photo shoot. So I want to get that planned out this month and actually done. And then I also want to build a member access page for my website and for my previous clients. So I have this thing called the B list. My name is Bryant. My business name is Bryant Devon Creative Services. So I have the B list, and it's the only list that's better than the A list. The idea behind it is to celebrate those who have already invested in my work. These clients get exclusive availability, early access to my calendars. They get exclusive discounts and products. I just want to build a little community and also give them an incentive for booking with me again. So I really want to get that member access page done this month. For my personal goal, I just want to develop a daily routine. I feel like it's really been hard for me to come up with a routine that really works for me, just because sometimes my day-to-day is different. Yeah, I work my full-time job from 11:30 to 8 p.m., but the mornings before I clock into work, some mornings I wake up a little bit later than others. Some mornings I have appointments. Some mornings I have nothing going on at all. Some mornings I just feel like being lazy. And so I feel like in order to maximize some of my time, I need to come up or develop a daily routine. So those are just my goals for this month. All right, so we're going to give this habit tracker thing another try. Stay on top of my small daily habits that I feel like will help me to accomplish a lot of my goals. Like hydrating. Hydrating is the very first thing I'm going to put here because it's super important to drink water to me. I plan on spending a little bit of time day to day, either in my journal or doing some type of guided Bible study plan. So I have that here on the habit tracker as well. Eventually this month, I'll find a Bible study plan. So right now, I'm just really focusing on journaling every day, just to be able to be a little bit more mindful, get my thoughts, feelings out. I feel like that's super important. And then when I find my guided Bible study plan, I'll be incorporating that. 30 minutes of reading. I have 2 books that I'm working on right now. I probably should just narrow that down to focusing on one at a time, but here we are. I just want to make sure that I maintain 30 minutes of reading. I'm going to try to do that every day this month. I have movement here. Again, I want to do some form of movement 3 times a week. I also have no spending here. Like I mentioned before, 2 days a week, no spend. I'm going to track that here on my habit tracker as well. And then I also want to track every day that I have a payday or every day that I've earned some money. Earning money for me means that I'm saving money. I practice the pay yourself first saving strategy. So 15-20% of whatever I earn automatically goes into my savings account. And then I put the rest up for just like my living expenses or my wish list or just whatever. That's my habit tracker this month. And then my aspiration for this month is to build healthy and productive routines to maximize growth, self-love, and happiness. So that is my intention for the month. So the very last thing I want to do is plan out for the very first week of February. What I found to be working for me for a running to-do list, since I'm always thinking about stuff while I'm on the go or either in the car, I just have a note on my phone with a running to-do list. Whenever I am planning out any of my tasks for the week, I can refer to that list of tasks and then migrate them in my planner here. That's been working so well for me. So there's a lot that I want to get done first week of February, and so what I did was I kind of wrote down my focus for this week, specifically on the sticky note here. These are the saddle sticky notes. I was talking about these last month. I wasn't a big fan of the color. A lot of you guys have left comments on my last plan with me talking about how you love the saddle sticky notes, and I'm team saddle now too, so I just kind of wanted to give y'all that update. But I just wanted to write out my focus here for the week. For photography, my big focus is to build my member access page and email the link to all of my previous clients. And then I also want to plan my Valentine's Day minis, with Valentine's Day being less than 2 weeks away. Maybe I'm being a little ambitious with this specific focus, but I'm going to list it here. I'm trying to create opportunities to make more money throughout the month. And so aside from my regular full shoots, I want to provide mini shoots as well. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. But for Instagram, my focus for this week is I want to film 3 outfit reels, 1 planner reel, and 1 simple, just very easy lifestyle reel. I'm going to incorporate trying to film those, edit and post those into my big top 3 priorities each day throughout this week. And then I also want to update my Instagram covers for my reels just to make everything look a little bit more cohesive there. For all of my tasks that aren't tied specifically to a day throughout the week, I like to just list those out in this little to-do list section right here. So for this week, I want to plan my Valentine's Day minis. I also want to plan or create a mood board for my February style shoot. I mentioned before, but I definitely want to do that Valentine's Day date style shoot situation. So I want to get that done this week. I also want to create some templates for my Instagram reel covers. So I want to get that done this week. I want to find video overlays and transitions through either Envato, or I follow Creative Bryant. If you guys are into photography and videography, then you probably have heard of Creative Bryant and his YouTube channel. But I love his overlays and transitions. So I'm going to check those out, maybe order some of those this week, or just kind of find some nice little visual elements since I'm getting more into content creation. I need to write a script for my members access page. I also need to finish building that page and create an email list for that page as well. I need to book a studio space for one of my shoots coming up. My sister's birthday is coming up on the 1st. I need to get her birthday gift. That way I can have it for dinner on Saturday night. And then I still need to apply for my passport. I haven't done it yet. I'm really treading thin ice with that. I need to get that done this week for sure. And then I need to check my suspension finally get a quote for that. And then I want to find cafes to work from. I feel like I'm in the house all the time. I work from home, and so I need to get out of the house, find a nice space or a cafe to work from for a couple of hours. Not every day, but maybe some times throughout the week. That way I can kind of get some inspiration, just be around people. If you guys have been following me for a while, then you already know I love Polaroids and I like incorporating them into my planner. And so this is a selfie that I took this month. I'm going to take one every month throughout this year and use it for a tab on my weekly pages. And then at the very end of the month, when I'm doing my letter to myself or my monthly reflection, I'll just tape that selfie to that specific page just so I can have like a log of different selfies throughout the year and just be able to kind of reflect back on the times. And so I just thought that was a really good idea. A lot of you who have been following me recently love the idea as well. Just taking my selfie, and I'm using some washi tape just to tape it onto my weekly page, overlap the page a little bit so I can use it as a tab to easily flip to my weekly layout. But yeah, that's it. That is my February plan with me. I'm just taking the very next couple of minutes just to do a little reflecting, just a little letter that I'm writing to myself, just reflecting on the month, everything that I've accomplished, things that I feel like I could do better. I love the idea of writing this letter here to myself every month. I absolutely plan on doing it. Journaling has been something that's super big for me, and it's really helped me to gain a lot of clarity, just insight, and so it's been transformative. And so I want to incorporate that in my month to month as well. Like I mentioned before, I'm also going to tape my selfie for January here on this reflection page as well, so that way when I look back over these months I can see that version of myself and just kind of reminds me of the times. And so I'm really excited to see what this looks like at the end of the year and just visualize that growth there. But if you guys like this plan with me, then you know what to do. Scroll on down the page a little bit more, find the subscribe button, click that. I also want you to click that bell icon. That way you can be notified every time I upload a video. But if you really like this video or any ideas that I shared, and I'm sure you might know someone else who might like the video as well. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Help me build my community here. Check out the description box. There you can find links to everything that I mentioned in this video. And also there's links to all of my social media platforms, so that way you can find me everywhere that I am. But anyway, I'm about to hop off this. I feel like I've been talking you guys' heads off. But there's one last thing I want you to do. Scroll down the page, find the comment section, drop a comment. Tell me any big plans that you have for February, anything that you have going on, anything that you're excited about. I like to know. We can keep the conversation going down in the comment section below. So do that for me as well. But anyway, you guys, I'm out, and until next time, peace.